Monica, man,
Hi.
we go back to like 2015.
We go back.
Oh my gosh.
We
Can
do.
I tell you, we've been at a lot of events together,
Yep.
but I have one moment of all of our moments that is the one I think about every time I see your name. This could be like the newlywed game. I wonder what your moment would be.
I know what your moment. I know what your moment's gonna be.
It was watching a sunset
It
in
was
San
watching the
Diego.
sunset
Yeah.
on the yes, on the
Yeah,
rock, looking
it
out
was
at the
at the end
water.
of a 3 day event, or right in the middle of an event, and a whole bunch of us went there to just be in nature. And I remember you and I were standing there, and I just remember appreciating the energetic connection. That was 10 years ago, and I'm so glad
A
that
long
I
time
have that
ago.
memory every time I see you. But tell us about you, the work you do, and or anything you wanted to say about how you've used the guide certification. I'm just so pumped people get to meet you. Stephanie, good
Sure.
job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So professionally in the world, I am an organizational development and strategy consultant and also an executive coach. I use facilitation extensively in the work that I do with senior executive leaders and organizations. I do a lot of change management, strategy development and implementation, a lot of leadership development work, um, anything that helps leaders to create optimized workplaces where people can come and bring their whole full selves to work. That's my jam. And I also am a certified professional coach. So part of the passion work that I do is with women in midlife to take control of their life after living a life of accomplishment based on other people's expectations and people pleasing, and help them to discover that midlife is a really rich time. There's a lot of fertile soil, and it's the perfect time for reinvention and for building a life based on what matters most to her.
Mm. Monica, that's awesome. I'm really glad folks get to hear you share that. And I saw some heads nodding at the invitation to see the opportunity for reinvention during midlife. That's cool.
Mhm.
Um, and by the way, we will link to all of you where you can find Monica and Scott. I want to make sure you all know how to find these folks, just as a way of thanking them for showing up. Monica, anything you want to share for folks about your experience going, anything else about going through the guide
Mhm.
certification? So, and Erin asked a question. I'm actually going to bring this in. She
Mhm.
said, can you also say anything to the efficacy of the business development training? And Erin,
Oh
I
yeah.
will answer your second question because I got a very straightforward answer to that. There are opportunities to practice all the time facilitation. But
Yes.
anything you want to share about to anybody thinking about going through the program, and also anything about what has the value been for you on the business development side?
Perfect. Perfect. So I am someone who is a lifelong learner. I love attending trainings. I love adding to my toolkit of skills. I'm someone who has invested heavily in my personal and professional development. And no lie, I have spent upwards of $200,000 on personal and professional development. And I rank Exchange as the top training that I have actually ever invested in for my personal and professional growth. And I will remain part of the community as long as I possibly can. I can see myself being in a rocking chair, being part of the community, but the depth and the volume of the material in the training, the videos, the worksheets, there is so much information packed in the cohort, the building of the community throughout the learning, the constant reinforcement of what you're learning through the taking of the assessments to make sure that you are picking up the most salient nuggets of what you need in order to become proficient with this methodology. It's something that is really not comparable to another training that I've had before. And so, what I love is that I've been in part of the community for a long time. And before there was an actual certification program, there was a way that you could get certified. And I shied away from that for a long time. But what I will say is that having the structured information and modules that built on top of each other over a period of time, taking the assessments, making sure that I knew what I needed to know that was most important for that particular design, that particular choreography, helped to organize things in my mind to help me to gather what it is that I needed to know what was most important in me being using the material. Like I've been an exchange facilitator for a long time, but even with the number of years that I've had in the community, going through the certification program helped organize the information in such a way that really amplified my ability to use the methodology more effectively.
Monica, thank you for what you just shared. And one of the things that I'm about to do, because one or two people asked a question about it, is the exact thing that you're acknowledging, which is the information that's available, how it's organized. I'm going to give everybody a glimpse into one of the playbooks, and they will start to see what you and also Scott have referenced. So I'm glad you brought that up. And it's humbling to hear in your perspective that your investment with us has been one of the most meaningful. That's obviously an aspiration of ours, is that anybody who ever puts a penny into anything we do, that we way over deliver. And so I appreciate that.
Seriously, way over deliver. And throughout my time in exchange, I've been able to convert my consultancy to being almost exclusively utilizing exchange as a facilitator. So
that's awesome.
Helped me bring in a lot of business.
Hey, if you all want to unmute and offer to Monica any auditory blessing, energy, or support for her future, or appreciation for popping by today, please, I invite you to do that. You're welcome to do so. Monica, thanks for stopping by.
Monica.
Super
Thank you,
Monica.
Monica.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Monica.
Appreciate it.
Freddie, I popped you a note in the chat. I was just curious about how you're doing. I would love to answer a couple questions that have come in and give you all kind of an inside look into the portal where this whole certification lives. Can I take a few minutes and do that? I'm going to show you some things that I think some of you might be interested in. I'm going to use, because I will lose track, I'm going to use this page in the workbook